Everybody, I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Nevada Commission for the Reconstruction of the V&T Railway. It's Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. We are here at the Carson City Community Center Robert Bob Kroll Boardroom. Sherry, could I get a roll call, please?
Here.
Present.
Here.
Not here yet. We'll mark him present when he arrives. We do have a quorum. With that, if we could go ahead and all stand, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 4, public comment. We do have a sign-in sheet on the tables up here, so if you're going to come up to public comment, please do feel free to fill that out with your information. Any public comment at this time? Come on up, Denny.
Denny French, Carson City. Thank you all for being here. I'm not sure you're a commission or committee or such. I have it right here and it says commission, sorry. I want to get to know more what's going on because I'm not a train enthusiast, but because I worked with a gentleman I heard a lot about a lot of different trains, and so the history now is just before me, just a little bit that you had available. And so this is my first attempt. I've been to other meetings, but I'm focusing more now. Thank you.
Thank you, Denny. Any other public comment? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 5 for possible action, approval of minutes of the September 27th, 2023 and October 13th, 2023 meetings. Clay is here, so we'll mark him present 9:03 a.m., please. Hi, Clay. We're just on agenda item 5, approval of the last couple of meetings that we've had. So you have the minutes in your packets. I don't know if there are any changes or edits or anything. If not, anybody want to make a motion on our 2 sets of minutes? That would be super.
I move to approve the minutes of September 27th, 2023 and October 13th, 2023.
Thank you for that motion, Stephanie. Do I have a second? Oh, wow, it's a tie. Wow, this is huge. Usually it's the Clay show. I'm gonna give that one to Leah, if that's all right, for the second. But as in doing all the motion.
I would have been there. I'm just out of breath.
It's all right. It's all right. You get yourself up to speed. Stretch out. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. With that, we will move on to agenda item 6 for possible action. Discussion and possible action regarding the V&T Commission Statement of Accounts Payable Checks paid September 1st through the 30th, 2023. We have checks totaling $56,716.78 for the month of September. Any questions for Leah on this one? Anybody want to make a motion?
Are we on 6?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to approve payable checks that were paid September 1st through 30th, 2023.
in that amount.
In that
Yeah.
amount,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
And
The-
the amount
the-
stated, 56,716.78.
Perfect. Thank you for that motion, Leah. Do I have a second?
I second.
And a second. Any further discussion? Oh, you have a question, Michelle? Sorry. Go-
Sorry, I do
My
have
apologies.
a question.
Go ahead.
So the SNC 27,000, is that their final billing or?
No, I'm pretty sure, and you can jump in, Cheryl, but I'm pretty sure that was just the first payment
Oh, okay.
of the total. Yeah. Am I, yeah. Yes, yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank
So
you.
more to come on, I think something was approved last week, perhaps. Yep. So that's payment number one against roughly, the revised amount is about 197,000 and change, I think, with a change order number one. So we got a little bit of a, yeah, we did. Heck yeah. Yeah. Any other questions on this item? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Super. Thank you. We will move on to agenda item number 7, possible action, discussion and possible action regarding the adjusted V&T Commission's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget reports for the period ended September 30th, 2023. So on the comparative statement, we have an adjusted revenue totaling $1,000 and expenses totaling the $57,716.78. Any questions on this item? I will say, the $1,000, we're still working on the bank reconciliation situation, so this is sort of our yin and yang trying to catch up. So this is, yes, we've collected significantly more revenue because of the BEX sales, but until we get the bank reconciliation squared up, it won't show up in Tyler Muni. So don't panic, because we did sell a lot of BEX tickets already, so all of them. Yes, 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 yes. Any questions or concerns on this one? If anybody wants to make a motion, that would be super.
I move to approve the V&T Commission's adjusted fiscal year 2023-24 budget reports, $1,000 in revenue and $57,716.78 in expenses for the period ending September 30th, 2023.
Thank you, Leah, for that motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, everybody. All right, with that, let's move on to agenda item 8 for possible action, discussion and possible action regarding a proposed agreement for on-call inspection services and reports for the US 50 bridge crossing, all culverts along the alignment, tunnel number 2 slopes, ditches, and the Overman embankment with Woods Rogers Incorporated for a not-to-exceed amount of $5,030 effective through June 30th, 2024. So the situation on this one, we did have this at our meeting last month, but there were some areas in here, some modifications that are being proposed in Section 10 by one of the principals related to the indemnification and defense of the proposed agreement, related to some of the insurance requirements. So in the packet, there's an alternative that's been proposed to limit the total liability to the value of services to be provided in the contract. So a little bit of a change after the fact, and you know, it's just circumstances, I guess, around maybe some confusion with a couple of the documents that were in the packet, but then were removed as a part of our motion last month. So I don't know if anybody has any concerns about those edits or changes. You know, I can try to answer them. Mihaela, you know, can obviously step in as well if there's any concerns. But I'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, this is
Go ahead,
Clay. Should this properly be referring to the state or to the commission and as the party through all this section?
Mihaela Niagos, Deputy District Attorney. It should be the commission, not the state. That is a
Okay.
typo, and it's because I think it's the short form that we used.
Ah,
And we didn't make all the changes.
okay.
So we will make those corrections before we sign it and send it to them. I think it's more of a question of whether we accept the modifications that they are proposing by crossing out the last sentence in section 10 and deciding that they will indemnify only for negligent acts or omissions that were determined by a trier of fact rather than alleged. So it's just a matter of when they will step in in the event that it is necessary.
And the only other change, right, is just the addition of "to the extent," right? The little arrow.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the first change,
first
right?
change, yeah.
Two others. Crossing out of the last line and
Yeah. And then, yeah, adding "as determined by trier of fact." Anybody have any? Yes, go ahead.
So Michaela, as our council, are you comfortable with these changes that we still have? I mean, obviously, there's a change to the coverage in the language, but knowing what generally we require in this section, do you feel like we're adequately covered?
I think we are, given the amount of the contract, the fact that we've almost entered into a contract with someone previously, and we were willing to make some adjustments at that point, and where we are right now with our deadlines, it seems pretty reasonable. Of course, we would prefer in situations like this to, for the contractors to follow our templates, but given all the circumstances, I'm pretty comfortable to advise you to go forward.
well, and just to be clear, this really has nothing to do with liability. It has to do with indemnification, right?
Yes, and when it steps in, rather than, at what point,
Yeah.
when we're dealing with it.
Yeah, because the paragraph before deals with liability, and there's no change proposed there. So
Right.
Are there any other questions or concerns on the proposed changes? Other than I will make sure and I take responsibility for not catching the state ofs in lieu of commission, but we'll get that fixed as well.
that's quite all right.
So,
I'm sure it's throughout.
yeah, I got the front end ones, but so okay. Does anybody want to make a motion on this particular item? You will try. Yes, you will. You will do,
Okay.
Stephanie.
I move to approve the proposed changes to the agreement for on-call inspection services and reports for the US 50 bridge crossing, all culverts along the alignment, tunnel number 2 slopes and ditches, and the Overman embankment with Wood Rogers, Inc., for a not-to-exceed amount of $5,030 effective through June 30th, 2024.
That was brilliant. Well said. All right, we have a motion. Anybody want to do a second?
This is Clay. I'll second it.
All right, he beat you,
Mr. Chair, I have a
Michelle.
question on the
Yes.
motion. Would that
Yes.
be as amended? Because there were amendments that were discussed. I'm still not familiar with it, so I just want to make sure I capture it right.
I think you could word it that way, but I said proposed changes to the
Okay.
contract, so either
Oh,
way.
okay, thanks, Stephanie.
Great. All right, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Great, motion carries unanimously. Yes, we can get a bridge inspection in this year. We're not shutting the train down. This is good. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, everybody. With that, we'll move on to agenda item 9, which is our discussion only monthly non-action items. 9A, I really don't have an update on the situation with Division of Museums and History. Obviously, they're going through their process now to replace Mr. Thielen as the museum director here at the Nevada State Railroad in Carson City, but I do hope to have a somewhat more robust, hopefully, update for everybody at the November meeting. So with that, we will move on to 9B, the Polar Express train ride production report. Carla, come on up.
Good morning.
Carla, will you just identify yourself too, just for
Yes.
tomorrow? She's getting to
Yes.
learn everybody.
That's
and-
okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Carla Wilson, Production Director for the Polar Express. We have been deep in rehearsal, going well. I'm really proud of the cast. They've learned a lot in a very short period of time. They're working hard. We've had a couple of hiccups with getting cast members, but I've been able to resolve that very easily. We have really good Santas this year from the pool that we've had. The one place I'm still working on getting people is for 5 nights at the North Pole. I've put it out on Facebook and several word of mouth and sites all over the northern Nevada area. And I've not had any success with that, but I'm still working on it. The word's out with the cast. I'm going to put something out on Facebook again and with Carson Now. I thought I could possibly send something to you, David, to pass out to everybody you know.
Happy to do that.
And we can get some people in there. I have one group that has been really good the last 3 years, and they're back and just excited as all get out. We have had the North Pole is all set up for my manager. She's done it before. But we're really looking good. We're looking really good. We're rolling into what we call train run-through, where we set up 4 mock train cars with chairs, and the cast take turn performing in it and being passengers and working with each other. So that works out really well. And Jimmy Arndt is repairing 5 hawker boxes that the screws were coming out. That's common. It happens. So I really appreciate having the small building as a green room. That is huge after freezing in the Connex for about 3 years. But yeah, we're doing good. And Rail Events is coming out to review us on December 2nd. So we're getting prepped up for that. We're looking forward to the new car. And I went up and toured the new car so I could work with Tom to know where all the electrical was, where the wiring for the speakers were going in, and all of that. So that's looking really good. Other than that, we're plugging along and doing really good at getting there where we need to be on November 16th. The only thing that I really need clarification on for November 16th is how you're going to do the comp tickets. I know that Granite Construction and all of those, and you have dignitaries and everything, media. I just would like to know as soon as possible so that I can start pulling in cast members' comps and mixing them in with it. And that way, if we can get 3 full trains for that night, I can't tell you how much it means to have 3 dress rehearsal trains instead of just diving right in. But this way I can help fill up the trains with cast, and I tell them primarily family, or if they know of a family that wouldn't be able to normally buy a ticket to afford it, I ask them to let me know about that, and I see what I can do to get them on board that night. That's about it.
That's great. And on the 16th for the media night, we should be plenty full. I did make a commitment to the Reno Tahoe Territory membership
Oh, good.
for the first time, I think in some time or ever perhaps, that I would get anybody that wants to get on to that. And one person, I didn't say like they could bring the whole family because I didn't think we would have enough, even with the fourth car, so I didn't want to overcommit, right? But I don't have a problem for our tourism partners, to be on the 8 o'clock train, to allow for the cast and their family members to be on the earlier ones, if that works better for
No,
everybody.
that would probably be better.
Okay.
Because of the fact that that gives them, I hate to say it, but it gives cast members at least 2 trains to
Yeah.
kind of get their feet on the ground. And
Yes.
then if the media or tourism is coming in on the 8 o'clock train, they're a little more versed.
Yep. And I know I was talking to Sherry about this maybe a couple weeks or maybe before you left. Timing, I don't remember, but we do have a list somewhere of the VIP type folks. And then I'll just need some help because I think I'll need a link to send out to the RTT membership, right, for those runs, I guess, and however that works. And I can get that out, well, as soon as I have a link, I guess, or however you guys want to handle that. So I want to make it easy on all of you. But we have 76, I think now 77 members. It's about 130-something people that are on my distribution list for Reno Tahoe territory.
Okay.
I'm not saying every single one of those people would come, with another person, but, I think it's fair to think, 30, 40 people, and then if they bring an extra person, that might be 75 to 100 people, perhaps.
Yeah,
So-
and that's super.
Okay.
It's just super. And Sherry's been great
Awesome.
at coming out and helping me. And Candy and Tom have been great. We will be going up to Virginia City on the 4th and 5th
Okay.
of November, Saturday and Sunday, to rehearse on the trains, to
Okay.
even start getting them acclimated to what they're working in. We've had to replace several of the props. They were just tired.
Mhm. Yeah, I can only imagine.
You drop one of those hot cocoa towers one too many times and it's tired. And our books, I know they bought a few new ones last year. And I added on to that because the 12 that we had were so tired. I was taping them together. So, I mean, because we allow the children to turn the pages, but I train the cast to where they help. They don't just allow a child to go like this. So, but
That's a
I'm-
take-home souvenir for the child, right?
oh, it
Rip the
is.
pages.
Yeah, I got a page, but I'm really thrilled. It's a passion for me, and so, and the nights that I am being Mrs. Claus, I have my assistant is well versed in this, and they will handle it just fine.
Awesome. Wow, this is exciting. So, are there any questions for Carla on PEX? Michelle, you have 3 questions, don't you?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, geez.
Hi, Carla. Good
Hi,
to see
Michelle.
you again. I guess my question really is for that VIP link. I'd like to come, and I didn't see anything come through yet, so.
It hasn't yet.
Oh, okay.
But
Just making
now we're
sure.
going to add you onto that
Oh,
list as a
no,
commissioner.
I'm worried.
Let's make sure we don't leave Michelle off. Yes. No, you definitely, you have your choice of seating, you're treated like royalty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We will
Okay.
treat you
Yeah.
like royalty.
You're actually going to be carried onto the train for all the small children. Right. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We will treat you right, yes.
Yes, but we'll have the conductor check his watch to make sure we're on time, okay?
Okay. And then I guess my other question is wrapping back to the decor, and I don't know what the timing of that is. Has that started?
Oh, that's a good question.
So Liz, with the Celadon events. Okay, so there was a little mishap with my emails not getting through to her with the contract. So we will have that wrapped up today, and I believe she wants to get in there literally as soon as Sherry can meet her. Yep.
Yeah.
So
She has all my contact info.
yeah. So we are okay, and she knows about the what was it called? The snowball or the snow globe or the something globe or whatever that we added. So that will all be taken care of as well. So she did agree to that as well. So yeah.
What is the snow globe, may I ask?
Somebody else might have to address. It's the prop thing for you can take pictures with it too, right? So it's like
Oh,
It's outside though.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay,
outside, so
okay.
don't panic.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't take space in the inside of the depot, but it's outside of the depot. that we-
Great.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Candy? Oh, for
Yeah,
crying out loud. I was there and I saw it, but
I think it was first last year, so.
I think so. I think it was. So she's agreed, because we still have it, to just include the setup of that basically as a
cool.
part of her proposal. So which
Okay.
is good. So yeah, no extra cost to the commission or anything like that. So
Okay, then I do have a number 3 question.
I knew it. Uh-huh.
Are we servicing the restrooms? Because we have rehearsals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing will change. So Tom and his team are handling everything with the restroom. So yes, yep.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. I mean, you will have your own restroom, of course, a private one.
You can
so
come
don't have
into the
to- yeah.
depot and use the
Yeah,
cast one.
Exactly, yeah. They'll carry you in.
Yes,
Yeah. Don't worry. Your feet will never touch the ground.
The only last thing I have, I just thought of it, I'm so sorry, is in the depot, we went down to the warehouse building, Dennis let us in, and the stair platform for the stage for the hero boy and the conductor is still there, which is great. I'm trying to get a crew in there to take that facade that's in the depot area. We're repainting it today to look more like our train, okay? But I'm trying to figure out how to get that up onto the platform so it looks like the hero boy and the conductor are standing in front of the back of the train car rather than above it. I mean, it is what it is. We have limited space, but I do have a cast member who's affiliated with ECV, and he's trying to get a crew down there to build the platform to where we can put that facade on it and make it look like the hero boy and the conductor are actually standing on the back of the train. Depending how we can make this work and hopefully get it to work with the building of the platform, it's also our goal to light up the windows from behind so that it kind of gives the feeling of them being on the train. So we're trying to add those little things to it. Right now, like I said, our biggest problem is getting that platform, either modifying the one we have or getting another one built. So I'm still working on that. Hopefully that'll happen within the next week.
I like those proposed changes. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Leah has a question.
Morning.
Good morning.
You said you needed some more North Pole actors.
Mhm.
What exactly are you looking for?
What I do is I put it out to youth groups throughout the area, Girl Scouts, dance studios, Boy Scouts, church youth groups. I've even sent it to the Boys and Girls Club, but they never respond. But what it is I hire them as independent contractors, and we pay them $100 a night for that group, and they provide 8 to 15 youth as elves. And right now, the nights I'm struggling with are Thursday, which is generally my harder night because of school and parents are working and all of that. So it's a good little moneymaker for groups. And once I get them, I try to do even nights, so not one group is working all the time, because it does get cold out there. So that's what I'm looking at. And now that you brought that up, mentioned another thing, I've been told by my crew that were there last year at the North Pole, there were no tables or chairs in the green room. So I don't know if that's something I talked to Tom about. We had a couple of folding tables. I've not seen them out at the depot, even in the Connex.
Huh.
So I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, because we had plastic 6-footers.
Yeah, and I've
Huh.
not seen them.
Okay.
But I need to look again. I'll be out there today painting, so.
Double check, because I would agree we should provide some tables and chairs for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, not sure where those Not sure where those went.
And do you know
So-
when Coons Construction will start putting that North Pole up?
So Cheryl, do you mind regrouping with them? So Anna did reach out while I was out, and then I said to work with Sherry
Okay.
and Tom as well, because Tom, I know we've got some things about going over the tracks, and so nobody's tripping, falling, hitting their head or whatever. I think they want to get in there, as soon as we're able and ready to do that. So, but I just wanted you to, meet
I'll
them
loop
and
back.
coordinate.
Yeah.
Yes, please. So they're on it. I mean, I think they're chomping at the bit basically to get started. So,
Now, I've been told that the lighting was not as good as in the past up at the North Pole, which
Yeah.
creates a hazard for all performers up there.
you are correct. And that's why I wanted to make sure Tom could be there as well,
Okay,
because
good.
he wants to address the lighting, whether it's, and Candy, I might misspeak here, but something about the train or something underneath, and
Yeah.
then lights coming from the side to show the track, especially if there's any kind of snow, right? So you're not
Yeah,
hustling
and
along and then boom, you fall over. the
Last year,
track.
the weather was such that was complicating things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so important
Yes.
for the actors to see and actors to be seen. And with Santa and the Hero Boy crossing over the tracks behind the engine once it is stopped the first time,
Right.
it's just a huge safety thing.
Yes, and we do
Okay.
for sure want to address that, and Tom is helping with that because he has some ideas that he wants to point out to the Coons Construction folks.
Okay,
as we
so
get
should
everything
I
set up.
work with Tom on that?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, oh, please, yeah, no, I
Oh,
would,
I get
yeah, when Jerry gets this coordinated, I'm happy if you want to be there, I think that would be great.
Okay.
Because you can kind of chart out how you see the movement of people and everything, so.
Well, Tom knows. I mean, I'll be happy to be there, but all the years that I did it prior and worked with Tom, we're on the same page on all of this, and I've already discussed some of it with him.
Yeah, no, he's committed to making sure it's a safe environment this year, and we do have some lighting set up there, so.
And Sherry, you're ordering the Connex, or is Tom? Or the office space from Quick Space, do you know?
I'll talk to Tom about that.
Candy, do you know by chance?
Tom says he's coordinating the Connex for the North.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Never
I-
mind.
I thought that was, sorry.
I
thought
just
that
was
the
making
case.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's some things where he's just kind of doing it, and so.
Well, I know he's
Well,
got
I'll get you up
s-
to speed, I think, so, yeah, sorry.
Okay. I think that's all I have. I can't think of anything else.
Okay, no, this is exciting. Any other questions for Carla?
Oh,
Ed? Yeah.
hi, Carla.
Hi, Clay.
So the dates that you still need help with the North Pole, is that every Thursday, or is it, or there's, well, I guess
It's-
probably not Thanksgiving.
No, not Thanksgiving. And the opening night, which is the 16th, I do have one of my well-versed groups who's willing to do it. But all the other Thursdays from there, and there's one Sunday, and I wish I could remember it off the top of my head. There is one Sunday
Okay,
that I need a group for. We provide all the costumes and all of that, of course.
sure.
It's just, those are hard nights,
Yeah.
hard nights to fill.
If you can get specifics out to us on that.
Okay.
Three of my 4 kids are homeschooled, and they're part of the homeschool commonwealth, and so they may not have the same restrictions that public school kids have, and so there may be a possibility there. So,
Oh, okay. Super, Clay. I will do that. Thank you.
of course.
Yeah, to do this legitimately, why don't you send the information, the specifics to Sherry?
Okay.
And then Sherry can BCC all 5 of us.
Sounds great.
With that information, so we can all kind of work our own angles on everything. So I was thinking Wild Horse Children's Theater might be an option, but I found
They're
out
so busy right now. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know Carol very well and
Mhm.
Sierra, and it's just, they're busy. Youth Theater is busy doing their things. It's just tough. And this is not uncommon.
Right.
I've run up against this every single year.
Mhm.
It's just one of the natures of the beast, unfortunately.
Okay. Anything with Sierra Arts Foundation? Were they able to help at all? Because I did.
You know, I haven't approached them, so,
Because I did send something to them on the front end of everything, whatever, a couple months ago, but I didn't know if anyone responded to you.
no.
No? Okay.
No,
I'll
no
try
one
that again.
responded to me on that.
Okay.
We have a lot of young cast this year. It's interesting. They're adorable, and I call them my kids. We laugh and have a good time, but it's a learning experience, I think, for me too, dealing with different maturity levels. But they're eager. They want to learn, so it's good. It's all good.
Awesome. Well, this is exciting. I'm looking forward to an awesome PEX.
Yes.
So, okay. Are there any other questions for Carla? Are you sure you don't want to have a fourth one, Michelle?
You sure, Michelle?
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm going to come sit next to you. All right. Well, thank you, Carla.
Yeah,
for
my
the
pleasure.
update. Wait, can you really? Oh. Okay. Well, I'll keep us moving then before we
Yeah.
all pass out, I guess,
I'll quit
on
talking.
camera. Yeah. Oh. Okay. With that, thank you, Carla. Let's move on to, let's take 9C and D. Candy Duncan here for Tom Gray operations report, and then the train operations. Do you mind? We'll just cover both before the monoxide takes us out. And then just identify yourself too, Candy, even though I know you, but just for tomorrow.
Oh, I thought it was on. There it is. Oh, now it's green. Okay. Candy Duncan, Virginia Truckee Railroad. As you can see, Tom is not here today, so I will, I know it says on your agenda, operations and train operations, and I'm not sure the difference, so I'm just going to tell you everything.
So the difference is just because of the way we split the contract. So, one is the running of the trains, and then the other one is everything else that's the
Oh,
net
okay.
new. So we just broke it down in case
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we had our last regular excursion train last weekend, so that is now over. And I would say that it was a successful season because I'm not sure if it was because we didn't run often, but the trains we did run were almost always sold out. They were very full. People were very happy. It was a nice, safe season. Everybody had a good time. There were no really problems with anything. We all worked together well. So it was fun. I enjoyed it very much.
It's good. Can
And-
I ask you a question on that front as we come around to our sort of strategic planning, our board retreat? Do you guys think we need to open up additional weekends?
I think a couple more
okay.
would be good. I know people really wished that there had been trains on Camel Race weekend because they like to take the train up and not worry about parking, see some of the events, and then take the train back. They really miss that.
Oh, we have agreement from BCTC, so that's a done deal.
And the other one was the 4th of July. People really wondered why they couldn't ride a train on the 4th of July. So
That we get in Carson City, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people like,
Yeah.
we wish we could ride the train this weekend.
Right,
It's a holiday
exactly.
weekend, and we would love to go.
And
so.
we maybe Nevada Day. I've been getting a lot of calls lately about what you're not running this weekend. It's Nevada Day,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would say maybe just what I've experienced so far this year, that those three
Thank you, Candy.
maybe
Okay.
might add those in because I think they would probably fill.
Okay.
And the 18 has now been winterized and for the season, and there's not a lot to do with repairs or anything like that. So it's hibernating and getting ready to go again next year. So that's good. As far as the Polar Express is concerned, as everybody knows, the tickets are all sold out. Right now, all that's left really are single seats in some of the VIP parlor cars, which has, for some reason, maybe people are just being optimistic, but they're calling me saying, I know it just says one seat, but does that mean like one car? Or does that mean like one, one family? Or can I bring my 9-year-old and hold him on my lap? So I think we need to make copy for that a little bit more specific next
Okay.
year because people are trying to figure all kinds
Finagle.
of ways to
Yeah.
fill
Yeah.
that one seat.
Okay.
So, but anyway, and now all the calls I'm getting are people who have realized they picked the wrong day and they want to switch and there's no place to switch. One thing I did not do this year, I think they have in the past, is have a waiting list. It was just, because it's just me answering the phone, I couldn't even imagine how to manage such a thing. So there's no waiting list. And I just tell people that in a dire emergency, if somebody just is not going to make it and they ask me to put their tickets back in inventory, I will. And then if I resell them, I'll refund them. And that's really about all I can do. But you just have to keep an eye on the website to know if that's happened or not. So I just want to make sure you were aware of that.
Thank you.
We did get a large shipment yesterday out at Eastgate of the beginnings of the Polar Express merchandise. And I'm not quite, was it mostly cups and bells and things like that, I think?
I think so.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's started. And the other big news is that Killers of the Flower Moon is in the theaters now. And if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. Even though it sounds like a really long movie, and it is, it just will keep you spellbound the whole time. And the shots of the V&T that are in the movie are fantastic. So that's very cool. And also, Tom says they're getting ready to film a music video using the train this weekend. So I don't know any more about it but it's starting to get really famous. So that's good.
That's awesome.
And Tom also says that he's emailed Granite for the lights and the highway signs. And that leads me to, I have a lot of questions about how the opening night, the 16th, works, because I was under the impression that I would be getting names so I could put them in the manifest, so there would be a manifest and people could check in and get tickets just like any other night. But I still don't know how that all works.
Well,
And
I want to make it easy on you guys. I had thought about the idea of them, like when I send this out to RTT, just CCing you on that email and having them go right to you. But I felt like that might be too much to put on you. But is that actually easier if all the VIP folks RSVP directly through you for those 3 trains?
well, it is. My problem is I'm going to be leaving on the 8th of November. And so,
right.
yeah, I won't, although I am training a very reliable person named Neil Duncan, who is my husband, and he's.
Did you call him reliable? This is a public meeting.
And he's done this before. He used to help me all the time selling train tickets, so he knows how to do that. And he will be taking over and answering the phone and doing all that while I'm gone. But I just need, I don't know, I heard, like, do you know, Sherry? In the past, I think they sent an invitation, and in the invitation, was there some way to go ahead and put their own information in the system?
I'll look at
Leah,
the system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'll-
I think it wasn't, I'm trying to remember the email that we received because I simply replied back, Dave for 2 or Dave for 1.
Oh, is that
to
what it was?
Allison. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was more manual just by virtue of, I think Fair Harbor really isn't set up to, run hundreds of comps
Right.
through it.
Right.
So they were tracking it, I believe, probably in like a spreadsheet or like a Google Doc or something along those lines per run, right? Because I do remember, I know they were, because I was on an earlier train and then they said, Dave, hey, we've got some people, we're full. Do you mind doing the 8 o'clock? So I shifted.
Could you do like a Survey Monkey and just have it be
Yeah,
an
or a
RSVP?
Google form of
or
some kind,
something,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So can I read that? The RSVP didn't.
Oh,
okay.
it didn't work.
So I think we can come up with something, let's, maybe we can work on that.
Yeah,
Today,
one
tomorrow.
of the things I'm thinking is if we had a deadline for everybody to RSVP before I go.
Yeah, we certainly could do
Then
that.
I could, if we just say in the invitation, I just need your name and how many people are in your party and the time, then I can go ahead and put them all in the manifest, all those that I get. I don't
Yes.
mind doing that,
Okay,
but, just as long as there's a deadline, like I think we talked about the 6th,
okay.
the 6th of November.
That
Yeah.
seems fair, yeah, to have her, okay, let's
Yeah.
do that. And again, I don't want to, charge people that night if everybody's comfortable with the parking. I feel like if we're doing a media tourism partner night, you know, and we're
Oh,
trying to
right.
bring people that may not be able to afford tickets or anything, like, let's not charge them for the parking, you know, for that night only.
Right. Yeah,
And we
that
can
makes
figure out
sense.
going all the way down the hill now that it's been restriped and everything. So we have all the spaces, right, you know, from the base all the way up, right?
Just a question on that. Are we having parking attendants or people to
Yes.
direct
We,
people?
we will have to have, yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
just
Have
want to
to,
make
yeah.
sure we're covered.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that reminds me, we have spoken with, I think it's about 6 or 7 people that worked for Polar last year, that we've met with them and rehired them, and they all are super, and they have great experience, and I think will be a lot of help to us since none of us were there last year. So we do have some good help coming in.
And that's critical, right, just to flow folks up. But now that the Connex is gone from in front of, I think this is going to be a little easier, right? We're not going to have the whole 16-point turn business going on for people, right, up
To
at the
drop
top.
people
They should
off.
just be able to, you know, circle and come out more efficiently, I hope, so, yes. Go
I
ahead,
just
Carmen.
have a quick question. Cast parking, is it in that parking lot by the other Connexes again this year?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about putting it back down below where we used to park.
Right.
But the trail coming up it's not safe. and
No,
so-
it's not.
Yeah, so I think that we are going to park there again.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that makes sense
Yeah,
for the two of
and
you to do that.
What we will do is, Jimmy is currently making parking passes to hang from the rear view mirrors, so that when people come up the hill, they're quickly identified as a cast member or a parent dropping off a cast member. And then what are you charging for parking, if I may ask?
$10.
Okay,
$10 for the record,
cool.
$10
Okay.
a car. Yep.
Thank you.
but not, obviously not for you guys. Yeah. It's 15, it's 15. It's 15 for employees. Yeah, we have to fund this commission, so, on the backs of our vendors.
Let's see. Okay, that's all I have.
Excellent. Cookies, I know we have those arriving, right, in the shipments. And then the hot chocolate, that's more of a manual process, right, where we've got to go to that other, somebody in
US
the foods. Okay, good, okay.
Okay.
So I feel like we're,
That.
you know, we're there. Yeah, I know there'll be some big pallet shipments coming.
And thank you for spraying for bugs.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Okay, any questions for Candy? I'm sorry, if anybody had a question, go ahead.
I have one. Candy, I know how busy things are right now, and I don't know if this is even possible, but when we have one-off tickets, I'm wondering if it might be possible to approach groups in the same car that are already booked and just reach out and say, just so you know, we have a ticket available if you wanted to increase the size of your group. I don't know if it's worth the amount of work that it would be.
a lot, yeah.
But maybe something to think of for the future to automate, to semi-automate, or have a way to do it where we reach out to fill in those gaps. Anyway, it just crossed my mind, and certainly if it's more work than it's worth, feel free to ignore the idea. But seems like a way that we could kind of fill in potentially with those people, you know, those few that we have sitting out there. So.
I'll think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's
Okay.
doable, then if it's not doable, that's fine. And maybe for next year, we can talk about if there's a system that we can put in place
Yeah.
that makes that easy. Some sort of a template or something where you can just, a template email where you can just click a particular transaction or buyer, and it'll send kind of a form email to them that we can compose once, right?
Right.
And I don't know if, you know, a concessionary price for that last ticket, you know, as a way to move them out without
don't know.
having to
I
deal with
know
the
that we
one-off
can do
buyer.
a template to send out an email, because we did that when parking was messed up at the beginning. We sent an email out to everyone who hadn't bought parking and told them they could buy parking. So I think it can be done. I just,
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
let's talk about that as something we can look at for next year.
Okay.
if,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
in all your spare time, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, after we end Polar, what's Candy going to be doing?
I'm gonna
mean,
be on
gee
a
willikers.
beach, a
Oh,
big
you're going to
old
the beach. Well, while you're at the beach, you can figure out the Fair Harbor templating system for clay. That's perfect.
I had a comment on
Yes.
that. I'm sure there's going to be some other VIPs we might want to fit in, or travel writers, or the news, or cast family, right?
There's an
since
entire list, yeah, with
Yeah.
board of supervisors, county commissioners.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
those.
a lot of folks, yeah, state, local, county, city, yeah, people that are on, there is a master list somewhere because it does have vendors, the granite folks, the Construction, the family, right, who donate the space and all that. Yeah, I know there's a, it's actually a pretty healthy list. of
but
people.
it's just for these single tickets. I'm
Oh,
saying.
I'm sorry. Oh,
I
okay,
mean, I
for the
like
single
the
tickets.
idea of maybe trying to figure out how not to get a single. We only sell 6 or 8 or whatever the number equates to. But
Yeah,
but then for this year, it seems like, there's going to be family, cast family, people who didn't make the VIP trip, one-offs that,
gotcha.
yeah.
If it's just one,
Yeah, if it's just one.
yeah.
Could I ask a question?
Me, I'll fill it.
How many, is it, are we just talking like 20, 30
Yeah.
seats? Okay.
Total.
Total. So it's
Mhm.
not, it
It's
is
not
a
a lot.
small amount? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's probably
It's only
difficult.
parlor car.
Parlor
And the
car, okay.
reason that happened is because that's the only car where you don't have to buy them in twos. That's the only car that you can have a family of 5
I see.
and not have to pay for 6, which
Okay.
is what happens in
Okay.
the others. So I think that's why it happens. And I like being able to, odd-numbered families, I think it's nice
Yeah.
if we can offer them
True.
something where they don't have to overbuy tickets to fit
True.
in, so.
Okay.
Well, and that's why my mind went to that, because they are
Mhm.
existing customers, right? And
Right.
so if we seed the idea and say, hey, you want to invite an extra grandparent, you have a kid's friend, some way to,
Something, yeah,
because they're already committed.
right.
They're already planning on being there. It seems like an easier lift than trying to seed in individuals that have no connection,
Right.
Can we offer it to them complimentary?
or at a concessionary rate or something. I don't know.
We
Like
can't
good
comp,
price.
Michelle, because of the situation with rail events. We have,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't do that.
Yep, no
Where
freebies.
there's a limited number, but we use those in a very judicious manner, I guess, for media only. And that's because of our agreement with rail events and Warner Brothers. So we have to be very careful about that.
Yeah.
What agreement? I've never seen an agreement.
Yeah. I'd like to add one more thing with regards to tickets. I don't know, I've not been privy to all the conversations that have gone on in the past years over seating and all of that on Polar Express. I do know that I train the cast to teach them how to seat people. And I like how you've changed it to you buy a bench. So that's probably going to help a lot with some of the conflicts we've had in the past. Just something food for thought for the commission to think about is, I know Tom went to reserve seating on his trains, and I've worked his trains with that, and oh my gosh, I can't tell you the ease, the comfort, the happiness of the people. I went to the Grand Canyon Railway and visited with them regarding their Polar Express. They do reserve seating. And she likened it, she showed me the program, which is proprietary. They couldn't share it with us. But it's like Tetris. They have somebody that when the tickets are bought, they go in and they fit it in. And in their disclaimer, it says, please be aware if you're buying an odd number of tickets that you may end up being seated with someone that you don't know who is also an odd party. I don't know if that's something that the commission would like to consider down the road. I know that the situation and the process that Tom has put in, like I said, it's worked beautifully for his trains.
Really
I don't know if that's something that our Polar Express could consider, but I do know there are other Polars out there that do it. And it just makes seating more efficient, quicker. People are not saying, well, we got 5 of us crammed into a 4-seater.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, you've got a 15-year-old and 4 very large adults. What do you expect? So, anyway, just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
No, that's a interesting idea. Could I ask, is Tom's system, is his proprietary, or could you?
No, I have worked with that system too in the past years and helped get it going.
Okay,
And Carla's right. The difference is night and day between the attitude of the customers because they're not in a panic
right,
because they think they're going to get separated from their family members.
gotcha.
And this way, they buy, it's still in 2s and 4s. There's no singles. And that was because so many families complain about having some stranger sitting with them, and the stranger complains about having to sit with them when they didn't get to sit with their family. And so it doesn't ever make anybody happy, but we do just do it in 2s and 4s, and it's real simple. When they go to buy their ticket, they see the diagram of the cars. They can pick their seats. They save them. They know what seats. They know what cars. And when they get there, they're not running and freaked out. They're calm. They don't have to rush to the train because they know they've got an assigned seat. So yes, I think it works beautifully. I agree with Carla. Yeah.
I have to agree. It's a nightmare for my crew to try and seat people. People are getting better knowing that the North Pole is now on both sides, but we get people who come on and they go, well, I was told to sit on this side of the train. And while we have to be a little stern, we say, the North Pole is on both sides. When the train stops, we will allow you to stand so you can see, make sure you see both sides. But there's always someone or a few that are get very upset. And when your stewards are 16 to 20 years old, they are not used to dealing with that as readily as an older adult. It just makes it challenging.
Yeah.
Could I ask a follow-up? So the system that you mentioned, Grand Canyon has a proprietary system. Tom has a system. Is it? It's not the Fair Harbor.
It's not Fair Harbor.
Okay.
It's activity tickets.
Activity. Okay.
And they designed this specifically for Tom's train.
Okay.
And I know would be probably very happy
To replicate that for our stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Thank you both. Yeah. Are there any other questions on C and D here, number 9? Okay. Well, great. Thank you. Yeah, this is exciting, everybody. Good work. Good job. Well done. Okay, we'll move on to 9E. Our next meeting will be in this building on November 29th, 2023 at 9 a.m. And Michelle, this is the one that you look forward to every year because it's the audit. So yeah, we have 2-3 hours of audit review. You're not here? Wait, what? Are you on the train? Are you on Polar that morning? No way. Okay. So we'll move on to agenda item 10, commissioner comments and announcements, requests for information. Anybody have anything that they would like to bring up, talk, mention, announce? Yes, Clay, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would propose that we recess for a few minutes. No self-respecting chair of this commission would finish a meeting in less than an hour.
Oh. Wow. That's our soon-to-be ex-vice chair who made that comment.
Firmly with my tongue placed in my cheek.
I was looking at the clock. I was going to get us out, I promise.
Fantastic.
At 10:01. All right. Let's move on to our oh, yes.
I do
go ahead,
have a question.
Michelle. Oh, jeez. She's going to ruin it, Clay.
Been with the Draco payment, did that come in? Old business?
You can ask it, but I don't think
Yes,
we can really.
I will have to make a follow-up with them, and I can give you the information at the next meeting. But as of right now, I don't know if it went through But I will look into that and let you know at the next meeting.
All right. If there are no other comments, let's move on to agenda item 11, public comment. Does anybody want to make a public comment?
Thank you. Very quickly, I'd just like to say that I want to thank the universe for allowing me to have picked this particular meeting. Watch you all processing the Polar Express has been very entertaining as well as very informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Na-
Entertaining.
Sorry,
Yes.
name for the record?
Oh, Denny, will you just reiterate your name for the record again, please?
Denny French, Carson City, and thank you, Chair and Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. All right, if there's no other public comment, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? It's 10 o'clock.
Michelle Schmitter, move to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.